Hey guys, you're watching Sin City Cycling. I am Orlando, and on today's tech show, we're going to be dissecting this Trek Madone. Now, I recently decided to get back into flipping bikes, and that entails pretty much just buying older bikes and servicing them, making sure they're safe, and putting them back out on the road. Now this bike that I bought has a broken frame, and I apologize about the echo. This is my new bike garage, so we really haven't had a way yet to dampen the sound, so it's going to be a little echoey for this episode. Anyway, I picked up this Madone, and as you can see here, we have a broken frame. Now, I took this to the truck dealer. They pretty much said it was trash. I think somehow there is a lug in here that's connected to the carbon. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and strip back this area with sandpaper and see what we got there. And I'm also going to go through and take all the parts off. So hopefully I can recoup the money I spent on these. These are 105 10-speed shifters. I honestly don't know why the covers are off, but that's exactly how I got it. The shifters feel like they're a little stuck, so I'm going to go ahead and use WD-40 on them and hope that I can get them unstuck so I can sell these parts off and recoup the cash that I spent on the frame. So this is it. It's 2014 Trek Madone, fully carbon, and I picked it up for about $100 because of the frame break here. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to fix that, but it'll be fun taking it apart and seeing what's underneath all the paint and seeing kind of how some of these frames are assembled. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, I'm going to start by trying to take off this little piece of metal here, and I don't have my glasses, but it does look like it's a hex. So let's go ahead and see if we can get that off of there. There we go. You know, I'm thinking once this comes apart, now the bottom one is probably good, huh? Alright, and that is a piece of the derailleur hanger. And this piece is unbroken. So, pretty much I just need to figure out how this piece goes on. And I'm sure that it's underneath the carbon. Unless there's a bolt or something hidden underneath this little thing here. And that is held on with rivets. This whole dropout looks bad. You know, I bet you this guy ran this thing over with his car. That would be my guess. Maybe that'd be a way, huh? Man, that does look bent though. Let me see if I can get you guys over here so you can take a look at what this back end looks like. And you can see how this end kind of curves that way. Or maybe you can't. But anyway, you know, they have to build these things this way. So for it to be unfixable, I just don't believe that. I mean, they had to manufacture the frame. So, you know, when this was bare carbon, they had to have a way to take that fucking shit on and off. Excuse my language if you have virgin ears and are unfamiliar with swear words. Anyway, let's take some sandpaper and see if we can't sand this down and see what we see here. All right, we're going to start this expedition with this P40 sandpaper here. It says it's for removing. I originally bought this stuff to do a repair on the paint on my wife's car, and we ended up selling it before I got to that. So I had this stuff laying around. It says it's for removing, so let's see it remove. Alright, now I've taken a piece here. that's going to take forever. Ooh, and that cut my finger. It's probably pretty safe to assume that this stuff isn't okay to breathe, so don't do what I do and use a mask. And I can already see the shine here and tell that this piece is metal, so they had to attach it to the frame somehow. So that's what I'm trying to ascertain, how they put it on, so I can remove this piece. Now, this big dropout does it. Maybe it's just the angle of the bike. So I bet that there's a rear derailleur hanger piece that I can buy. Because this piece, I know that screws in. I'm assuming it used to be connected to that. Man, this guy had to have run this thing over. There's no, I mean, that's a solid piece of fucking aluminum. So in order to snap that like that, it had to be some severe pressure put onto it. Okay, so I've gotten some of the paint removed here. Sorry. And you can actually see where the aluminum starts and stops and where the carbon picks up. So there has to be a way that they attach this, and I'm assuming that they used some sort of bonding agent to put this lug on and then screwed it the rest of the way, I suppose. We also have this little cable holder here that's held on by rivets. I'm gonna have to drill those out to get to that. Okay, so off camera, I went ahead and drilled out, what do you call them? The rivets that hold on the cable hold here so you can tighten the cable so I could peel back more of this paint here. I was afraid that in the garage the drill might pop a fuse. I'm not actually supposed to have TV and stuff out here, so I'm already drawing more power than I'm supposed to. So I was afraid the drill would put us over the limit there. Anyway, that's what I did. As you can see, it's really starting to come around. You can see where the carbon starts and this lug starts. Now, I haven't really thought about how that's going to come off of here, or I haven't really put much thought into it, but I was thinking maybe heat gun. The heat might cause the glue to loosen up enough so I could use some pliers and maybe wiggle this piece off. But it's definitely attached with some sort of bonding agent. You can definitely see that here. We got carbon here and aluminum here. So they had to put it together at the factory, so there's got to be a way to fix it the same way. Okay, now I've managed to get the paint off to the carbon and to the metal here. And you can see how the metal piece probably is just inserted into the tube with some type of adhesive, would be my guess. Focus. Anyway, that's what we're got to. I'm gonna go ahead and start removing all the parts off this bike as well. I think this frame fix is gonna be beyond my ability, but we're gonna go ahead and post it. Maybe somebody down the road will be able to do something with it. But until then, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the parts so I can recoup the cash I spent. Yeah, I think I'll leave the seat post with the frame if somebody wants to fix it. I'll have the post already with it. I'm going to take everything else off that has any intrinsic value. was thinking about using it for my mountain bike that we're going to be building here soon. So we'll keep that around. Went ahead and lowered it so I can work on removing these shifters. And first I'm going to need to get this bar tape off. So that starts with the removal of the plug, even though that's going to be the last. And depending on how they're wrapped, you probably start at the top, but I have seen wrap start here and go down. That's how you do the tapeless. My Vengeance actually like that. And I like it, so I do not know how to do the tapeless, but I definitely will be teaching myself because I like it. It looks clean on the bars. Alright, man, whoever taped these did a really shitty job. Okie doke. Let's just really not and being careful mood. So let's just remove you. And you know, I originally planned on being able to fix this, but I was unable to find the lugs that go into the back there where we previously sanded away the paint. I'm sure they're sold somewhere. Maybe people who specialize in this type of thing, like the frame repair and the carbon repair, know where to get all that stuff, but I do not. I did a quick search. I really didn't spend too much time doing it. So I probably could have possibly discovered how to get that, but as of right now, I have no idea how to get those replacement pieces. So we're just going to go ahead and remove the parts here, and we'll just pass this project down the line. I don't have time for that kind of thing, but I'm sure somebody will want to love this thing. That's just more investment than I want to put into it. But somebody who's building a carbon bike for the first time, I think maybe I'll ask $60 for the frame, considering it needs a repair. And I think with the repair, the frame would probably be worth maybe $300, you know, once it's fixed. So, you know, if the repair costs $300, you know, you're not too far into it there. And that's if you're taking it the rest of the way down the road. So I really don't like working in the quiet here, but if I'm going to have you guys along with me, I got to have the TV off so you can hear what I'm saying, partially at least. So yeah, I definitely think somebody tried to do these themselves. Because the wrap is not really well done. This bunch of crap here definitely is not how I would have done it. That. And let's go ahead and move this. Oh, see how you can see here, the clear tape is probably how they did it from the factory, how they tape the cables, but you can see how these are done here in electric tape. So maybe he rewrapped it after the fact, because it does look like Bontrager tape, which it probably came with. So, and I think I may have overpaid a little bit, but when I bought the bike, I was intending on actually fixing the frame, so I thought for sure that I would be able to fix it, but I was only assuming that it was the carbon fiber that's broken, and in all actuality, there's no carbon fiber that's broke at all. So it's just that little aluminum lug that's in the back that broke in half. And I have no idea how to put that back on or even how to get it off. I was thinking maybe a heat gun. We could heat up that area and maybe that'll heat up the glue a little bit so we can remove it. And I really would like to get these off. Now, if you look down in here, you can see the bolt right here. And that's how the shifters are actually held onto the bars. You can see how each one has that little bolt there underneath the hoods. And that's actually what we're trying to get to. So we can remove them. You can see right here, that's the bolt. Some of them are on the side, like my Ultegra is on the side here. These are a little bit older with shifter. I believe he said they were 105. I think they're 5700 series. They are a 10-speed, so they're older. And you can kind of see down here, that's our next project parts there. We got Nick who's painting the frame right now as we speak. So hopefully we'll be able to start that project here soon. And I actually want to see which version of 105 this is. So I need my flashlight here. And yeah, I don't think without my glasses, it looks like 57, 47 maybe. I'm just going to go ahead and cut the cable here, so we got a good end to pull through the shifter. And I'm not going to be reusing these, so I am not worried about any of them. But did not cut. Okay. That is everybody. Now, I've never done these shifters here. I might have to WD-40 these, because I think they're stuck. I think this bike's been sitting for a while, and what happens is the inner workings of the shifters get all gummed up. The grease that they use during the manufacturing process, it hardens over time, and that's what happens if you don't ride your bike. That grease in there turns thick and solid, and you're no longer able to shift. I'm just going to try and loosen the shifter here so we can get the shifter off the bars, and hope that I can just pull the hood off that way so I can get the cables out. Why are you guys being so difficult? Alright, there we go. And you can see on the side here, this is where the cable's supposed to come out. At least I believe it is. Let's see if there's another hole here somewhere. And I don't see one. Oh, it does appear that there's broken cable in there now. Oh no, that's just gummy crap. Okay, so let's try to get this hood off of here so I can put some WD into the shifter and get the frickin' cables out of it. The brake, you can see right here, that's the brake. Maybe you can't see. That's the brake right here, so we should just be able to pull that sucker out of there. So let's start with that one. This is the rear. Oh, we can't pull it out because I have not undone the cable. Okay. Cable there. And let's undo front cable. Yeah, this thing had to have been sitting a while. That is my theory before he decided to sell it. Alright. And let's pull you out now. That's the brake cable. And you can see the difference in the rounded end. One of my other videos, we actually went over the difference between the brake cable and the shifter cable. And the brake cable has this little rounded head, and a shifter cable is like a small cylinder. Okay, here's the brake. And I'm trying to get it to actuate so I can remove the cable. Maybe it goes in the bottom. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay, so here's the cable here. I don't know if you can actually see in that little hole there, but that's where it's coming out. And there it is. And that's our difference. Like I said, it's a little cylinder instead of that rounded end. I know we've went over this before, but I don't expect that all of you have seen all of my videos. So real quickly, this is the brake. That is what the shift looks like. You can see the difference. And I believe that it's got this beefier end because obviously it's meant to stop you and save your life. So that's why it's a thicker thing. Okay. And there's that. And you can do this while they're on the bike too. The bike that you see sitting behind me, when I bought that one a few years ago, its shifters were frozen as well, which is why I got it for such a cheap deal. He thought the shifters were broken, but I soaked it in WD and the shifters came back to life after that. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to spray the inner workings with WD and hope that the clickiness comes back to life here. And I'm going to go ahead and spray the WD right into the inner workings there. And let it penetrate and work its way in there. Okay, and let's go ahead and get this side too. Alright, let's let that penetrate a while and we'll work on the other side. Okay, moving right along. I've removed the other shifter and they are ready to go up for sale. You can see there, got them all boxed. And we're going to the brakes next. Okay. And that is the front. And you can usually tell the difference between the front and the back. The front is longer. All right, now it's on to the fun stuff, the cranks. And like I said, I had originally planned on fixing this thing. I think that's tight. It's in there. That's a little tighter than I was thinking it would be. Unless it screws the opposite way, I suppose it could have reverse threads. Let's try that. No. Looks like we might have to WD-40 our way out of here. Okay, having a little bit of an issue trying to get these cranks apart here, so I'm going to go ahead, remove the bars, and then lay this bike on its side and use some penetrating oil or WD-40 to hopefully loosen that up, because I'd like to get those off of there. So, okay, so I'm thinking now that I've revealed the damage to the frame, I was thinking about asking, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 bucks for the frame. And I don't think that's a bad deal, especially with someone who knows how to fix it. Okay, after some serious fighting and multiple squirts of WD-40, I'm finally able to loosen this crank bolt, which I was for a second thinking that we weren't going to be able to get off, but we have achieved victory. All right. Woo woo. All right, suck it. Okay. Now, and for these, I keep a rubber mallet around, so that way when I'm tapping this through, it doesn't mar the threads at all. Nice. All right, so I have the bottom bracket tool inserted into the frame, as we can see there, or maybe you can't. Make sure you can see here. All right. And I've already inserted the tool, and now I'm going to attempt to get the bottom bracket out. Go ahead and then tap that bottom bracket out like So, okay, now I should be able to get a good bite on the other side. Okay guys, if you stuck with me on this one, I really appreciate you taking the time to check out what I'm doing here. This is my part-time gig of buying used bikes, refurbishing or stripping down for parts. This one was a little bit difficult. As we saw at the beginning, it does have some frame damage here, which I took off some of the parts so we could expose that this is a metal lug. And if you look here, you can see where the carbon fiber meets up with the aluminum. We went through, we took off the forks. I apologize, I'm in a garage, so we've got constant movement going around. We took off the bottom bracket and the cranks. We took off the shifters and everything else, and I am getting these ready for sale on Craigslist. So, as always, if you stuck with me for this, I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed watching me take this bike apart. As always, I am Orlando. You are watching Sin City Cycling's Tech Show. Peace.